It is Friday, June 9th. Happy Friday. So I'm gonna wrap the vlog up here. I feel like every time I do a vlog, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a lot of content. The vlog is so short, but I really feel like this week is short. But I'm gonna wrap it up today. I don't foresee myself doing anything tomorrow, but I also want to give myself enough time to edit because I'm tired of my videos being late. Hey, hopefully y'all can hear me. It is Sunday, June 4th. That sounds about right. I'm in here. These are the leggings that I ended up getting from Marshall, the Adidas ones. Yo, look how much I played myself, though. First of all, they fit. I am sucking it a little bit. This is about me sucking it in. I have gotten back to waist training, by the way, and this is with me. I haven't been doing much ab stuff. I gotta get back to doing that today, which is why I'm in the gym on a Sunday. I don't know if I'm in here on a Sundays because I don't miss something, but I don't think I give myself enough credit. Like, I look good. I look good. Let's try something new. Let's start giving ourselves the credit we deserve. And good mornings. Put it back here. And before, I was doing it where I had my toes pointed outwards, and then my husband was like, you're only working one muscle group on your leg, so you want to really turn it inwards. It'll feel uncomfortable for a little bit, and I've been doing that, and I've noticed like the inner muscle here is starting to tone up, because before that, my knees would really be looking fat. But let me get to doing this. I do 3 sets of 20 as a warm-up. Morning. So let me check my face. Look how this lace looking. I did the best I could with what I had, but I'm at court waiting for my lawyer to get here. I'ma fill y'all in when we're done. Hopefully by the time y'all seen this, everything went well. I'll leave it at that, but I wanted to tap in with y'all. Oh, it's Monday, June 5th. All right, guys. Excuse me. I don't want to say I hate law enforcement, because I do have friends that are law enforcement and family, but I hate when people lie to make the case. So now I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on. So pretty much I have a custom license plate, and you live in Philadelphia, y'all know people be stealing everything. So I have a plate cover that can cover my license plate. I've never personally used it. It doesn't even work, but the plate, because it's there, that's what he pulled me over for. But in the state of Pennsylvania, you can't pull somebody over for that. So I got 2 citations. He immediately threw out one of them, and the other one we had a hearing for that. He said that the judge ruled in the favor of the officer, which is messed up, because he's like, oh, it was obscured. He even implied that, hey, she has something in her cigarette lighter to plug this in. And I'm like, I told my lawyer, but my lawyer was like, I guess he can read how the judge was reading the case. And at that point, he wasn't really interested in, really hearing the truth. My car is old. This is what you see plugged into my cigarette lighter, you ignorant fool, is a car charger from my cell phone. I know new cars don't have it, but my car is old. I hate people. Like, when I tell you I hate people sometimes, like, because what you did was completely unnecessary. Like, it's still Wednesday. I was just in my vlog room filming where I showed y'all that hair. I took that wig off, put on skim set, this top. I really want the shorts of this top. Like this, I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but I love this color. Blue's one of my favorite colors, if you guys couldn't tell. When I tried showing you guys my nails, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's enough color, but not too much, because I don't really do color. I'm more of like a neutral person. But like, I just filmed that video, and I'm still in the process of editing it to put it up today. And it's just like, the color was off. Like, I don't know what's going on. So there is this, I follow people from all over the country, obviously. And there's one guy, he was on Instagram Live, and he's like, yo, I don't know what's going on with this guy. And he lives in New York, I live in Pennsylvania. And it's just like, they put out an advisory that the air outside is not safe. And, you know, it's like, oh, it's so humid, but it's really giving like smoke. Hey, vlog. It is Thursday, June 8th. I'm in here. Yesterday, I uploaded a video about this closure that I unboxed. I'll insert clip right here of what my findings are with this closure. All right, y'all. So it's actually been about 40 minutes. And I'm happy to say the water's a little murky, but it's not like brown like we've seen in the past. I'm going to end it early because before it would have just been there already and say that this hair has not been processed. It's definitely in an unprocessed state. So obviously by now you guys can tell it's definitely raw. Like, look at the hair, look at the texture. Everything about it is decent, good, I guess. First I thought the knots were a little bit bigger, but when I look at the knots on this one, the knots are the same size. So I'm not really too concerned with that. The lace. So I was talking with one of my friends. You know, y'all know her. She's really into hair. She had her own hair company. And she was like, you know, I've come to realize that a lot of hair companies who have raw Indian hair don't have good lace. And I sadly have to agree with that finding because I would say like the lace isn't good. Let me backtrack. Like, it's just, there's better. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with this lace. It's just going to take a little bit more work to have it blended. Now, initially what my thoughts were is while this was wet, it was like, hey, you know, it's looking like really, really thin. I did reach out to her telling her it's not the quality I expected. And even though she does not have a return policy, no issues, no complaints, no back and forth, she just immediately emailed me a return label, which I can really, really appreciate. Because that's just not what I'm used to customer service wise. So I really appreciate that. It seems very professional. Like, the hair is what's making me consider like keeping this, because it's definitely raw Indian hair. Like, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Like I said, you guys would have seen by now. What my complaint is, and maybe I'm tripping, maybe I did things prematurely, is I thought that there were a lot of short strands, but now that it's dry, it doesn't look as thin. My only other concern is going to be like, hey, you know, once I start to blend it, is the lace going to be an issue? Like, the wig that I was wearing yesterday, is the lace the same quality as the lace on... I feel like the lace is the same quality as the lace that's on my Juicy Hair Affair frontal. I'm wondering if I should have gotten HD. HD was like $40 more. Now, I have my reservations about HD. Ooh, don't want that to fall. This is from the T-Touch Luxe, and her HD lace is a little bit different. It really seemed like just a thinner regular lace. What I don't want to happen is for me to settle and then come to find out later on down the line, just like everything else I done settled for, that, hey, it wasn't worth me settling for, but the hair quality is really making me reconsider it, because y'all have seen the uphill battle I've gone through the last year trying to get good hair. I was willing to forego, you know, having HD lace, because I'm like, hey, you know, if I can just have good hair, I'll give up the lace. Like I said, the knots are just as big on some of the other lace products that I have. I do know the ones in the middle are going to be a little bit more to work with, but the hair quality is where it needs to be. So do I really sit here and go back and forth? Like I said, the reservations that I had were just the fact that it had like shorter strands, which I thought I was tripping on. Like, I parted this down the middle. I'm going to show you guys really quickly, because it seems like it's only one-sided in terms of like where the shorter strands are. I don't know if you guys can see it. So this side, try to prop y'all up over here. All right, so I'm not going crazy. I just like to make sure I'm not, I mean, y'all can comment down below if y'all seen what I see. I just want to make sure I'm not going crazy. Y'all see that? There, y'all see it now. Y'all definitely see it now. See? I don't know. The shorter strands is the only thing. But do I sit here and dwell on this? Because like I said, I've settled for way worse. But I immediately noticed it on this side when I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, why are there so many short strands in this? I don't think it would have been as bad if it was like more evenly dispersed throughout. But it's just, it seems like it's one-sided. I want to say, despite how I feel about this closure, I would still buy from her hair company. Just because it's definitely raw hair. Like, it's definitely raw hair. Like, that much. Like, it passed the test. I've never had hair, since I've implemented this test in my unboxing, past the baking soda and Dawn tests. And I had another company just like, oh, well, we've never heard of that. And our vendor said that that's what caused it to come. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. That's not what it is. And like I mentioned to you guys before, a chemist told me about that. So I'm pretty sure she knows what can affect natural hair. Hey vlog, it is Friday, June 9th. Happy Friday. So I'm gonna wrap the vlog up here. I feel like every time I do a vlog, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a lot of content. The vlog is so short, but I really feel like this week is short. But I'm gonna wrap it up today. I don't foresee myself doing anything tomorrow, but I also want to give myself enough time to edit because I'm tired of my videos being late. However, potential trigger warning. I wanted to share a story with you guys. So like I had this all planned out in my head how I was going to say it. Oh, two things. So one, well, this is not the trigger warning part. Let me get a drink of water because I am thirsty. I'm probably a little dehydrated. Am I the only one who, when they're not at work, doesn't eat and drink properly and like take care of themselves? Is that just me, or does everyone else do that too? But what I wanted to say to you guys is, a couple vlogs back, like 2 vlogs back in the beginning of the video, I had the clip, and in my head I'm thinking the clip is funny. When I sit back and think about how, I'm gonna say sensitive society is, I'm like, people probably took this the wrong way. So no one said anything, but you know how you can tell by like silence that some people were thinking things. Some people who normally comment on my video just didn't comment on my video. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm not here to offend anybody. I am not here to make fun of anyone's lifestyle, you know, talk about things that people have no control over if you're not aware yet what I'm speaking about. So my cousin came to visit me, and as soon as she got in the car, she mentioned about the individuals that were around her, and I laughed. And people were probably thinking like I'm laughing about the individuals. No, I was laughing at her reaction, because she spent her, and we're gonna call it her entire life because she's only been in the country for a year. She spent her entire life in Trinidad. So when she came out here, for her to see what she saw, I knew it was just gonna be culture shock for her. So I was laughing at the fact that she was shocked, and I knew it was gonna be a reaction because the train station that I picked her up in, I visited a plethora of times. Well, not visited, but traveled through a plethora of times, and I just know that, you know, what she saw was what she saw because of the area that the train station's in. So when I laughed at her reaction, not at those individuals. I would never laugh at someone in those situations. I do have members of my family that suffer with addiction, so I would never make light of a situation like that. So I just wanted to put that out there. The other thing is, like, I sent a couple of my friends, you know, like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm a saint, because, you know, if we say we're saints, we're not being realistic. But like, if I see something that could be helpful to people, I share it. But I shared a post and not really thinking what the first page was, because that just wasn't me, like, you know, thinking like, hey, this first page could be triggering to somebody. It tells you about different scenarios where crimes are committed, but then the following page, tab slides, whatever they call it on Instagram, I know the name for it, but I can't remember. They're telling you about ways to, you know, keep you safe. So that's the reason why I sent it. But I guess the first slide was triggering, and I had to immediately apologize to somebody, like, hey, you know, like, I didn't mean it like this. I didn't mean to potentially trigger you. And earlier I mentioned that society is so sensitive. I'm from Trinidad. We are very, I mean, obviously you guys know that the flag is right here. We are very, like, straightforward, in your face. We're a loving, welcoming community, but we're very straightforward and in your face. Like, if I go to Trinidad, I'm tall, they might say, hey, tallest, skinned, you know, I'm dark skinned. Hey, Docky. It's not to say like, oh, you know, you're trying to single me out or you're trying to shame me. Like, this is just how my culture is. So I wanted to address that for the prior comment that my cousin made, not for this. But what I really wanted to share with you guys, you know, I said I was going to be more open, and it took a lot for me to come on here and say this, but I would never make light of any situation. I always tell you guys, be kind, because you never know what someone's been through. In 2017, if you guys recall, I mentioned to you guys, hey, you know, this is my year of like being free, going out, just meeting people. That's all I was doing in 2017, was just meeting people. And one of the guys that I met, I tried to look at the bright side of people. He attempted to SA me, and if you guys know what that is, you know what that is. And I'm gonna break down the situation for you guys. It's not triggering, but it just, you know, makes me aware of like, hey, you know, like I went through this. I was lucky enough for it not to happen to me. So we're in my car and he's sitting over there and we're talking, and at one point in time he gets like playful and he's like, I'm coming over here on your seat, and I'm like, no you're not. And he's like, yeah, I'm coming over, and I'm like fighting him off, but I'm laughing at the same time. And if you guys ever see me in any of my videos, whenever I laugh, it's like a nervous twitch. It's not like me laughing because something's funny. So I'm laughing, and I guess like in his head he's thinking that, hey, you know, it's okay to keep going. So I'm like, but at the same time I'm telling him for a fact, hard no, but he doesn't get it. So he's fighting to the point where like the playfulness just goes away, and like the fighting becomes more intense, more serious. And it's to the point where like, you know, I feel like I'm fighting for my life, and I'm like thinking in my head, like, what is really going on here? Is this really about to happen? Is this about to be my life scenario? So then like it just snapped and it just like clicked in my head, and I just like did one of these and grabbed his neck and slammed him against the mirror or the window of my car. And then like the shocking look on his face, like, yeah, I said I was serious. I said no, I said stop. So I gotta go in the post office. I'm gonna come back and tell y'all the story. All right, you know how like when you in like a mode and like you're telling a story and it's just like you stop, and now it's like you gotta get back that same momentum. So I don't really remember where we left off from, but I think this is where we left off from. So yeah, so I think in that moment when like I slammed him against my car window, that's when he realized like, hey, I was being serious. Yeah, and no means no. Stop. I don't care if I have a smile on my face. At no point in time did I tell you it was okay for you to attempt to climb over my seat and get on me. That is not okay. So, you know, I have a personality, like I just tend to like, I don't say like laugh things off, but like the nervous laugh that I tell you guys that I do, I'm for real when I say I really do just you know, it's just like a thing that I do. In addition to that, like maybe it's just me, sometimes I just try to look at the good, not the good in people, but like I realize, and my friend, he goes out with me all the time, and I don't think I ever told him that story. He's probably watching this vlog now. He might either be upset with me, or I don't remember if I told him, but I just remember like trying to tell this guy like the next day, like, hey, you try to sleep with me and I was telling you no and you were thinking it was yes, and he was like totally like, no, I would never do that. You know, you were saying it was okay. And I'm like, what is it about somebody potentially fighting you off, telling you no the entire time, that makes you think your behavior is okay? So in that moment I realized that this guy has a problem with alcoholic beverages, refused to admit it to himself. And I'm not I mean, like, I'm Trini, so like I said, you know, we'll tell you straight as it is. But he didn't get it because I saw, I don't want to say like similar behavior, but like, you know, continuously like drinking over and over and over again in certain social settings. So like I said, 2017 was my year to be out. I saw you consuming alcohol on a regular basis to the point where I realized that you had a problem that you were not aware that you had a problem of. And while you were under the influence, you would do and say things that were not okay. So it's just, you know, I've been around a lot, been through a lot. I don't take anything for granted. in certain social situations. I remember like my cousin, she's always like, oh, you're so paranoid. No, baby, I'm aware. You don't know what people have been through, and things like that can break people. Not saying that, not to say like it wouldn't break me, but like I try to always look at the brighter side of things. Like, hey, you know, I made it out. Some people don't. Because in the back of my head in that moment, what was going through my head is like, I would never be the same if something like this happens to me. And you know, it's like always like, oh, that fight or flight moment. It might take me out, but I'm gonna give you a hell of a fight doing it. So yeah, that's where we're gonna leave off this vlog. We are on our way to 10K. Don't forget to like, oh, we're only 100 subscribers away from 3,000, so y'all make that happen for me. I mean, y'all come here, you know, y'all like me. I hope y'all like me. Who knows? In the words of April, the ops be watching. The opposites be watching, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Because I got people who, you know, be looking at my Instagram stories. And when I interact with you, you don't respond. Anywho, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on our way to 10K. I will turn on those post notifications. I always forget to say that. Thank you, AJ, for reminding me. I hear you in the back of my head telling me post notifications. But that wraps up this week's vlog. I will see you guys